This Wagner, one hopper over to the first baseman Lister for out. Number one. Looks like we're already having a rough start here with the stream connection. Looks like it might just be the way it is. Unfortunately for today's game, I am truly sorry about that, folks. Well, in the meantime, just keep letting me know how the stream's going. Looks like this might just be how the day is. Sorry about it. Miller sends this one out to right field, but Williams doesn't have to really move for that one at all, and it is out. Number two, quick, 2 up, 2 down here. In case y'all missed the action because it was too buffery in the top of the third inning, Zach Geis was able to strike out the side. Looking, that is impressive stuff from him. Getting back to the action in this bottom of the third, George Smith coming up for his second at bat. First at bat, he fouled out to the first baseman Lister. First pitch of the second at bat, taken outside for ball one. Yet another ball taken from Smith. Quick 2-0 advantage to him. Yet another ball, 3-0 advantage for Smith. We've seen him get on base plenty of times for the A's this season, whether it's hitting or it is walking. Looking good to do that here as he's ahead 3-0 to Garrison. Garrison has not issued a walk yet. This one swung at by Smith, a rare 3-0 swing from the A's. Fouled back, 3-1. On pitch from Garrison, chopped through, not quite through. Wagner still tries to make the throw, and it gets by the first baseman. It gets into the dugout. Boy, Wagner probably should have just ate that one. There's no chance he was going to get Smith, but instead it turns into an extra base for Smith. He'll take second base. So that should be an infield single for Smith, but he is going to advance to second on an E6. And the A's have a little something going on here with 2 down. Ramirez looking for that 2-out RBI hit, similar to what Ethan Wood did in the first inning. Ramirez fouled out to first baseman Lister as well in the first inning. Big ol' swooping curveball gets the call. That looked to be a bit outside, but 0-1 starts out to Ramirez. A little bit more of a breeze here tonight. Certainly nice to have that with how hot it is. Blowing out towards right field. There, late appeal to the infield umpire. He says no swing, so the ball call stands. One wonder Ramirez, definitely a strike there. Another curveball looped in for 1-2. Smith on the run here, down to third. He's in there safely. Imberg's throw pulled the third baseman off the bag just a little bit, and he had to make sure that ball didn't go sailing into the Anchors bullpen and cash in Smith. So stolen base there. Ramirez in now a 2-2 count. Second run of this game, only 90 feet away. Ramirez pops this one into right field. Williams under it for out. Number 3. Little brief 2-out threat there from the A's as Smith works his way to third, but nothing doing. Still 1-0 as we head to the fourth. Top of the fourth starts out with a ball from Geis. Pitch number 2 swung on and missed from Williams. 1-1. Saw Williams with a couple catches on flyouts in that previous inning. As for at the plate, he flew out to Brian Sanders in shallow right field in the first inning. Geis working on 3 straight strikeouts. 4, as a matter of fact, if we go back to the last out of the second inning. 5 strikeouts, all looking impressive stuff from him. 2-1 advantage to Williams, though, so far in this at-bat. Fouled into the screen, 2-2. As mentioned, folks, just let me know what's going on with the stream. It's looking a bit tough here early on. Hopefully it gets better, but it might just have to be it is what it is for this evening. In the meantime, Geis' 2-2 swung on and missed. Another strikeout. Chases a slider up in the zone for out number 1. First strikeout swinging for the Anchors. 6 for Geis total and 5 in a row. So 1 down, Leo Paredes, third baseman, hot corner, takes ball 1. Paredes so far, 0 for 1, struck out looking. Looks at strike 1 there, low in the zone. 1-1 count now. Middle infielder's playing pretty deep. Medium length for the corners. As for the outfield, Miller is favoring right field a bit more. There's a big gap. for a righty to expose there in left center. But he swings and misses at this one. And yet again, another observation I had earlier in this series, it almost looks like when he's swinging, he's shifting his feet away from the plate. Very unorthodox or unique there, but you know what? If it works, it works. Just hard for me to imagine how it would. Does it again. That back foot just slides out from under him as he goes chasing outside for strikeout number 2 of this inning. Geis is really feeling it tonight. Best start for him so far on the season. First pitch with 2 down, ball 1 taken from Kelvin Jones. Jones responsible for the only hit so far for the Anchors in this game. It came as a leadoff single in the second inning. First start of the weekend for him as well with the Anchors. Good way to start for him. Pitch on the way, taken for a ball, 2-0 advantage to him early on. And already early on, as we're in the top of the 4th, he is only one of 3 batters for the Anchors to not strike out against Geis. Boy, that looks really good, but umpire says ball 3. Great advantage here early on for Jones. Guy still hasn't walked anybody as of yet, but in danger of doing so now. 3-0 pitch, trying to come back with a strike. He does, right down the pipe. Called strike 3 and 1. Three one from Geis. Chopped. Looks like it probably hit his foot. That's why we're getting called a foul ball. But Geis back in it now, 3-2. Started out the first inning of action for him. It ended up being 1-2-3, but 2 out of 3 of those at bats were worked to full counts, hoping to come back from 3-0 to punch out the side and finish off this top of the 4th. Payoff pitch on the way, swung on and missed. My gosh, slider gets him fooled, and Geis is just on a heater right now. That is 7 strikeouts in a row going back to the end of the second inning, and 8 total on the night through 4 innings of work. Geis is hot. A's are loving it, and they maintain a 1-run lead, looking for more as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Bottom of the fourth, Ethan Wood leading things off for the A's. That is 4, 5, 6 hitters. First pitch, swing comes up empty. 0-1 to Garrison. Well, I was talking with some of the A's players, Ryan Weller and Gio Casas, about, boy, it's hot out here, but you know what is hotter? That is Zach Geis. Holy smokes, 8 strikeouts through 4 innings of work. Great stuff here. Now, if the A's bats could follow suit with that heat, it would be even better game all around for them, but still have the lead so far, 1-0. Oh, 1 to Wood, misses upstairs, 1-1. Wood with the sole RBI hit in this game. RBI single cashing in Tyson Miller in the first inning. Goose eggs ever since for both sides. Garrison tries to paint outside, doesn't get the call. 2-1. Count up on the board is 2-2, so we'll go with that. Did feel like I missed a pitch there potentially. So we'll see if we get confirmation from the umpire there. In the meantime, it's looking to be 3-2. We'll see if we see what home plate umpire has to say about the state of the count. Looks like he did put up 3-2, so it's going to be a payoff pitch coming up from Garrison to Wood. On the way, Wood smashes this into right field above the second baseman's head for a base hit. 2 for 2 on the day for Wood. He continues hitting well, and leadoff single yet again for the A's in the series, and that'll bring up Luke Reed. In the meantime, let's go Grizzlies. Of course, the Fresno A's agree with that one. Let's go Grizzlies. They were able to get the win here today on Sunday this weekend, playing in their lowriders scheme. Able to see that out in right field as well on the manual scoreboard. Ree was squaring around the bunt there, pulls it back though. It's called strike. 0-1. Swings at this one, fouls it away. 0-2. Ree so far in this one of 3 batters in that first inning to foul out. Very interesting, unique. Not used to seeing that for sure. But second half of this season, Ree has been swinging the bat pretty well for the A's. 0-2 hole for him, and he gets struck out on the outside part of the plate. Garrison paints one outside, strikeout looking, 1 down. Wood still at first base. So 1 down, Jake Maynard digging in, and he chops this one to the third baseman, looking for 2. That's 5, 4, 3. Double play. Just like that, Anchors wipe the bases clean and wipe this bottom of the fourth clean. Ends up only being 3 batters. Turn the double play to end the inning. A's still up 1-0 as we get to the top of the 5th. We return with the top of the fifth. First pitch from Geis swung on and missed for strike one. Leadoff hitter in this inning is Brandon Lister, excuse me. That's the first baseman for the Anchors. 0 for 1 so far. Did reach base, though, on a fielder's choice. Kelvin Jones was on base when he grounded into that fielder's choice. Jones thrown out at second base on the force out from Smith to Sanders. 1-1 pitch here from Geis on the way. Painted outside, strike 1 and 2. So, guys, 57 pitches heading into this top of the fifth inning. Solid pitch count for him. And as I've already raved about, great numbers with strikeouts so far this game. 1-2 pitch on the way, spoiled by Lister. We'll do it again, 1 and 2. Looks like our stream is stable now. Thank goodness for that. Hopefully didn't jinx it. But interestingly enough, sometimes it just takes restarting the connection. 1-2 pitch on the way. Looks like Lister got hit here. Yep, umpires puts his hands up, and that is base runner, leadoff base runner, that is, for the Anchors. So, Geis not helping himself out there. Been cruising so far, but gives up the leadoff base runner via the hit by pitch. Lister takes first. And Paul Wagner, the shortstop, will dig in, looking to move him around the base paths. Wagner thus far in the game, 0 for 1, flew out to right field. Geis misses outside here. Looked like good speed on that, though, 1-0. We'll see if pitching from the stretch is going to have a bit of an issue, or excuse me, be a bit of an issue here for Geis. Hasn't been much trouble so far, but just simply changing the way you pitch could affect things. Doesn't there, though. Wagner was looking to square around a bunt there, pulls it back, called strike, 1-1. Guys come set. Wagner showing bump before the pitch is on the way, and he pokes it out there, but it rolls foul. One-two advantage to Geis here. Him and the A's certainly wouldn't mind rolling too. The Anchors were able to do so at the bottom half of the fourth inning to end the threat after a leadoff hit from Ethan Wood. Geis bounces this one in the left-handed batter's box. Fernandez able to pick it to keep Lister at first. Counts even at 2 apiece now. Geis, couple peeks at Lister at first, comes home, breaks the slider, doesn't get the chase from Wagner, though, and the count runs full. Yet another full count, third one that Geis has come up against, and he's won all 3 battles. This time, Wagner sends a shot out to left center field. Holy smokes, 1-hopper, 2-hopper at the wall, and this is going to be at least 1 run. Wagner is moving around. He is going to have a stand-up triple. You can hear the support of the Anchors fans here at the top of the lower level here. They love that. And just like that, game is tied 1-1. Well, all I could say to that is, wow, that ball was well stroked out to left center field. Wagner, great job with the RBI triple there, splitting the gap to the wall. Picking up with this at bat here, Golik's in, the second baseman, looking to cash in. Wagner only 90 feet away, still no outs. 1-0 advantage to him so far. Swing and a miss there, though. Looked like he swung 3/4 of the way. Didn't quite finish the swing. 1-1 count. This one is hammered a ton down the right field line, but it is plenty foul into the seats. So perhaps as we're getting through the second half of the second trip through the lineup, the Anchors hitters are starting to figure things out on Geis after a tough 4 innings of hitting. Looks like they're making way better contact. Not right there, though. Gullickson strikes out. Second K for him on the day. And 9th for Geis total. 1 down for the Anchors. Angus Elias, the left fielder, comes up. Looking to cash in the runner at third base. Maynor looks him over back to third. Throw on to first in time for the out. Very good out there for the Athletics to keep Wagner at bay and not score that game leading run. Nine-hole hitter here, Cam Imberg digs in. Big spot here, looking to get the lead for the Anchors. 2 outs, runner still at third. Paul Wagner, Imberg starting off right where he left off in his first at-bat. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Oh, 1 to Imberg, taken for a ball, low and outside, 1-1. Imberg's first time up, struck out looking. 3 straight pitches, as a matter of fact. That was in the third inning. Geis is 1-1 on the way. Paints outside. Yes, he does. Umpire looked like a little bit of hesitation to make the call, but ultimately does. One pitch away from the end of this inning. Not yet, though, as Imberg fouls this one away to keep it alive, 1-2. Guys searching for that final out of this inning. Imberg looking for that pitch to bring in Wagner. 1-2. Rings him up. Slider breaks in. End of the inning. Geis is pumped coming off the mound. 10 strikeouts. Count them on both hands. Double-digit strikeouts for Geis. And he shuts down the scoring threat there. But the Anchors able to tie things up after a hit by pitch of Lister, and Wagner takes Geis deep out to the gap for an RBI triple. 1-1. We're halfway through. A's looking to retake the lead. So we head to the bottom of the fifth. Second half of this game starts now. A bit of a fast-flowing game. Not too big of a surprise, though, with that 1-1 score. Garrison comes out for a fifth inning of action, starting things out against Isaac Fernandez, who chops this one just foul. Fernandez on the day, 0 for 1, flew out to left field first time up. And obviously a lot of talk about Geis's outing so far, but don't want to overlook Garrison either. Even though his strikeouts are just at 2, he's been incredibly productive for the Anchors. This one is a beauty of a pick from the second baseman, but not so beautiful of a throw. Tough one to make on the run, though, and it is leadoff base runner for the A's. Not sure if that's going to be ruled an error or a hit. Looks like it'll go down as a hit for Fernandez. We'll put that down in my scorebook as well. Back-to-back innings of leadoff hits for the A's, looking to cash in on it this time, though. And Luke Nevode looking to move his teammate around those base paths. 0 for 1 so far to his day. Ground out to short. Breaks in a pitch for a ball. Looked to be close there, but doesn't get the favor of the ump. This time breaks one in, does get the call, 1-1. Finishing my point on Garrison, though. Numbers aren't flashy with the strikeouts, but incredibly productive. Going into this fifth inning, only 51 pitches. And able to paint the outside corner there is Garrison for 1-2 to Nevode. Nevode still seeking his first hit of this series. 0 for 2 Friday, 0 for 1 today, 0 for 3 combined. A little bit of action going on for both bullpens, but more so preliminary stretching and tossing. That pitch misses outside there for 2-2. Beautiful curveball there, gets Nevode swinging out in front of it for strikeout. And out number 1 of this inning. Third punch out of the game for Garrison. First one swinging. One down, runner still at first. Brian Sanders digging in. Umpire signals that he did break the plane. Swinging strike, 0-1 to start out his second at bat. 0 for 1 as well, similarly to Nevode, grounded out to short. Late call from the umpire, but gets the favor. Does Garrison there for a strike, 0-2. And so far, this bottom of the fifth mirroring the bottom of the fourth, single strikeout, and Anchors certainly wouldn't mind a double play ball. Almost got it there, but it's fouled away. Anchors able to finish that bottom of the fourth on a 5-4-3 double play, and well, that one was fouled just beyond the third baseman. Would have been a tricky one on that one if it stayed fair with him running away from second base. 0-2 pitch on to Sanders, rings him up outside, strike 3. Back-to-back punch-outs for Garrison, and 4 total on the day, 3 of them looking. Two down for the A's. Fernandez hasn't gone anywhere since leading off this inning with a single. And Tyson Miller, pure contact hitter, looking to move him around the base paths and chase him around, as a matter of fact, with those fast wheels. First pitch, taken for a ball, 1-0. 1-0 pitch, laced into the right field, base hit. Fernandez going to have to hold up at second, though, as that one's quickly fielded by Williams. Miller yet again showing his great bat at the plate. Second hit for him on the day. Runners at first and second for the A's, two down. George Smith looking to get a clutch hit and take the lead. But in the meantime, we have a pitching coach for the Anchors coming out to talk with Garrison. As mentioned, there is some preliminary warm-ups going on in the bullpen for the Anchors, but definitely doesn't look like there's going to be motion to replace him as of yet. Still only at 64 pitches in his outing, and of course, only one run given up. So, quality start out of him thus far. There is a technical definition for quality start, actually, that indicates 6 innings of pitching with 3 or less runs given up. Both pitchers certainly on track to meet those qualifications. So we resume play here after the brief pause, on the mound there. George Smith versus Garrison. Pitch in the dirt there. Runners don't go anywhere, though, as that one's a good block from Imberg, 0-1. Smith able to single his last time up at the plate and got to second base on an errant throw from Wagner into the A's dugout. 1-0 to Smith, down in the zone, but strike 1-1. Oh, we'd usually talk about Miller taking off here, but he's got a bit of a cork in the bottle at second there with Fernandez. Smith slices this one down left field, or first base, Lister with a great little kind of backwards diving play, and that ends the threat. The A's able to get 2 runners on base there, but nothing doing as Garrison and the Anchors shut the door, and the score is still tied at 1 apiece. Already into the 6th inning go the Anchors and the A's. We'll see who takes the lead. Top of the sixth starts out with an aggressive swing there. Foul, 0-1 to the first base side. And not Rogues, excuse me. The Anchors are looking to capitalize here after stranding two runners on base there. And good way to do it for them is with the top of the lineup up to bat. Ragland fouls one in the same exact spot. 0-2 hole for him early in his third at bat. 0 for 2 on the day so far with a line out and a strikeout looking. Geis is 0-2, and Ragland sends a little blooper into right field, but it hangs up enough for Luke Reed to catch it for out number 1. Geis entered this inning with 78 pitches. There is definitely action in the A's bullpen. I think that was Duncan DeLange. Not too sure, though. Hard to tell from all the way over here. Either way, though, could be last inning for Geis just based off of pitch count. And he plunks his second batter of the game. First pitch here to Williams. He'll take his base. And really, that's been the only thing that's undone Geis here so far. Undone, perhaps a bit of a strong word, but when he hit somebody back in the 5th inning, so reckon that was last inning, it was Lister, the leadoff hitter, that ended up resulting in the game-tying run for the Anchors off of Paul Wagner's RBI triple. Just a lesson there in terms of how important it is to not give out free passes, whether they're walks or hit by pitches. Focusing our action back here on the current batter, though, Leo Paredes, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, 1 looking, 1 swinging. Geis misses up and out for 2-0. Still no walks for him on the day, but 2 hit by pitches and 2 hits given up. Coming set now on 2-0. Big lead there for Williams. And he's on the run. Throw down from Fernandez to Sanders, and he beats the throw easily. Gets into shallow center field. Smith running after it, slides for it. Williams content to take second base, stolen base for him, and runner in scoring position for the Anchors. There's been close matches between these two teams this weekend, and it's proven to be that case yet again. Stalemate in the top of the 6th. Geis, 4-pitch walk here of Paredes. He'll go to first base, and runners on first and second now with just 1 out. That'll prompt Isaac Fernandez to have a brief conversation with his pitcher. Comes back to home plate. But the chatting's not over here as pitching coach Ethan Wenter comes out to have a discussion with his pitcher as well. So definitely the first sign of trouble here for Geis. Of course, he gave up the run in the last inning, but that was pretty quick fire from the Anchors just in 2 at-bats. In the meantime, Anchors hitter, which is going to be Kelvin Jones, and the base runners go to talk with the head coach. Base coaches coming in to chat as well. Now everybody's going to disperse back to their proper places. Batter into the batter's box, position players into their positions, base runners to their proper bases. Potentially big moment here, big inning in general. Runs are very hard to come by with both starting pitchers here today, and Anchors are looking to take advantage of runners on first and second from Geis. Up the middle, could be two. Throws it over to Smith. That is 1-6-3. Double play for the A's. And just like that, the threat is eliminated. Wow, how anticlimactic for the Anchors, but totally hyped for the A's as they preserve the tie here 1-1 going to the bottom of the sixth. Bottom of the sixth after a very exciting 1-6-3 double play to eliminate runners on first and second. One out for the Anchors. New pitcher to report for the Anchors as well, and throw some hard stuff there as we saw pitch number one of his outing in for a strike. Leadoff batter here is Mikey Ramirez for the Athletics, so that'll be 3, 4, 5 hitters. Hard stuff misses outside there, 1-1. In the meantime, new pitcher here for the Anchors is Devin Betancourt. Garrison State done after just 5 innings of work, but they were really good and effective 5 innings out of him. 1-1 pitch on the way, breaks in a slider for a strike 1-2. Highlighting Garrison's numbers, 5 hits given up, 1 run that was earned, 4 strikeouts to no walks. Misses way outside with this one. If there was a batter in the left-handed box, he would have been hit by a pitch. 2-2. Ethan Wood, the on-deck hitter for the Athletics, 2 for 2 on the day. Chopped to the third baseman, plays the slow hopper on to first. Just in time for out number 1. So with that ground out, Ramirez 0 for 3 on the day. Now Ethan Wood digging in, as mentioned, during Ramirez's at-bat, 2 for 2. One of those hits being an RBI, the only run driven in by the A's. And as we check in on YouTube, Irene Rodriguez, yes, indeed, let's go. Fresno Athletics. In a tight one here tonight, no doubt about that. Perhaps the most defensive game I've seen so far this season, and we are deep into the season, 38 out of 44. It is winding down for sure. 1-0 pitch to Wood, swung on and missed on the outside part of the plate, 1-1. Second baseman playing a little bit closer to first there, so there is a gap for Wood to shoot a base hit through on the right middle side of that infield. But it's going to have to come with a 2-strike approach as he fouls that one into the screen, 1-2. Betancourt shakes yes on a pitch he agrees to and breaks in a back foot slider, it appeared there, or changeup. Misses though, 2-2. 2-2 pitch in the dirt, 3-2. Wood able to work it to a full count. Little nubber to the third baseman, plays it on his glove side, throw on the run, and Lister has to tag with the throw, bringing him off the base, but still gets the job done for out number 2. Back-to-back G5 for the Fresno Athletics batters in this inning. 2 down, Luke Ree digging in. Misses inside for 1-0. Ree 0 for 2 on the day. Flew out to the first baseman, struck out looking. 1-0 pitch, bounced in the dirt, looked to be a slider for 2-0. Second baseman's returned to more of a traditional alignment there with Ree up now. Looks like in general, all outfielders are playing pretty true to their position. Maybe a little bit of a favor from the center fielder to the left fielder. And Wagner throws this one over to first base on a ground out for Ree, out number 3. And to the 7th we go. Still a stalemate going on here. Little offense, but great pitching. And the Anchors looking to change that, looking to take the lead when we come back. Top of the seventh, brief little pause there called by home plate umpire, but looks like we're good to go and resume action. Geis coming out, trying to work a seventh inning. 87 pitches for him in his outing, so most certainly his last inning if he's able to complete it. Lister sends out his first pitch of this at bat to right center field. Miller tracks it down for out number one. One pitch, one down. So shortstop Paul Wagner digs in for his third at bat, 1 for 2 on the day. Started his day out with a fly out to right, but then had that monster triple out to left center field and responsible for the one and only run scored for the Anchors in this ball game. Guy starts him out 1-0, comes back with this pitch for a strike, low and outside, 1-1. 1-1, slapped at, foul into the screen. 1-2 advantage goes to Geis. Even more action going on in the A's bullpen. As mentioned, this very much looks like the last inning for Geis, which 7 innings out of a starter is impressive in itself. But just the question is, who do they decide to bring in at the end of a long week, 6 games in a row? Wagner slaps this one to Sanders, throws it on to first for an easy 4-3 put out, 2 outs in the inning. So with 2 down, second baseman Gullickson looking to change the fortunes here in this inning. First pitch, Geis starts him out with a strike 0-1. Speaking of changing fortunes, Gullickson would certainly like to do that for himself in this game. 0-for-2, both times struck out. 0-1 pitch is slapped out pretty well to center field, but Miller able to just jog to it and catch it for out number 3. Quick and efficient that 7th inning was for Geis, and we're going to stretch here in Fresno. We'll come back with the A's looking to get back on top. Jake Maynard leading things off for the A's in the bottom of the seventh. PA announcer making sure to shout out his hometown is here in the Valley, Hanford, California, much to the delight of the Little Leaguers here at Chick-Chansey Park. Maynard was squaring around a bunt there, but chose to pull it back, called strike 0-1. Well, certainly a baseball game here tonight, folks. Anybody who's watched and followed baseball as long as I am know that it can certainly be this way. 1-1 stalemate rather. Casual baseball fans might call it a snoozer, but it is intriguing to see who is going to push through, break on through to the other side, that is. 0-2 pitch on the way to Maynard as slider breaks way outside for a ball 1-2. Maynard in tonight's game, 0 for 2, grounded into a double play in the fourth inning. 5-4-3 double play drew around the horn from the third baseman to the second baseman to the first baseman. Counts now even the Maynard 2-2. Action going on in the Anchors bullpen. Pitch misses outside. Count runs full, 3-2. And looking over at the A's bullpen, same thing. People warming up, but still not much going on. What's going on the field, though, is a strikeout looking for Maynard. Betancourt starting out his bottom of the seventh just right. First strikeout for Betancourt in this ball game. 5 total for the Anchors. With one down, Isaac Fernandez rips one up the middle. It's off of Betancourt's glove, and he's still able to recover and get the out, albeit very interesting. Lister had to jump for it. I think he was able to get his foot on the bag before Fernandez got there. So a heck of a rip there from Fernandez, but unfortunately just right at somebody. Another aspect of this great game of baseball. So quick 2 outs here for Betancourt and the Anchors on defense. I was going to rule it as a line out, but I guess that's technically going to be a ground out to the pitcher as this one's fouled back behind the plate into the second deck. So 0-1 for Nevode's third at bat, 0 for 2 on the day, ground out strikeout. Make it 1-1 as he takes that one outside. Bottom of the lineup, 9-hole hitter Sanders on deck. After that, flips over to the top of the lineup just in time, perhaps for the Athletics to get the top of the lineup due up late in this ball game. Nevode watches another ball go by for 2-1. Watches yet another one outside. Betancourt shakes his head, either in disapproval of the call or just missing his desired spot. Threw one pitch on to Nevode, taken low outside, and that's his first base of this series against the Anchors. 2-out base runner for the A's, and you just never know if that could bite the Anchors. We talked about free passes being critical. It happened with Geis in the fifth inning. He started out by hitting a batter, and immediately Wagner slapped a triple, scored him in, and that is where we stand now, 1-1. Returning to the action, Brian Sanders takes ball 1-0, third at bat for him as well. And these two guys teammates in college at Franklin Pierce University seem to be mirroring each other today. Ground out to short and a strikeout in their first and second at bats. Takes that pitch for a strike, 1-1. Long pause from Betancourt, now comes home. Looks like he tried to break a slider in there, but didn't quite break and misses inside. 2-1. Taking a peek at the temperature, certainly better than game start time, but still 93 degrees out here as we approach 9 o'clock. This one's fouled high in the air. Lister looking to track it down. A little bit of backpedaling, shuffling. Dirt comes up, but he's able to make the catch for out number 3. Yet another goose egg on the board there. Tons of those throughout the night. Still 1-1. Anchors looking to change that and put a crooked number up in the top of the 8th. Top of the 8th inning. Looks like we're starting out with a pinch hitter for the Anchors. Gonna have to pull his number to let you know who that is. Looks to be number 26, which would be in Angus Ola's spot. That is certainly a number I recognize. I believe it might be Elias Rubio, but let me confirm with you on that. First pitch to him, though, is from yet another substitution in this game. That is Duncan DeLang on the mound. So Geis's day is done. Pitch up and in, 2-0 to start out this leadoff hitter. It is indeed Elias Rubio. Woohoo! Got that one right. Yet another one misses, I guess, inside on that one, and it is tough start here for delaying 3-0 advantage to Rubio. Go ahead and pull up those stats for Geis as soon as we can. In the meantime, focusing our attention on the leadoff hitter. Delaying pumps it, gets it outside, 3-1. So Geis's day ends up looking like this. It is 7 strong innings of work for him. 2 hits, one run, and that run is earned. 10 strikeouts to just one walk. Certainly his strongest start of the year and a breath of fresh air after a tough start up in Medford. Went 4 1/3, giving up 8 earned runs to the Rogues. This is inside, ball 4, delaying, starting off his outing not the way he would want. Free pass given to Rubio in his first at bat. And with the runner on first, the catcher, Imberg, due up for his third at bat. Tough day at the plate, 0 for 2 strikeouts of both varieties, swinging and looking. Rubio getting a little bit more of a leadoff. He's already on the move. And Imberg spoils it with going after a bunt there, fouls it away. So there goes Rubio back to first base. In regards to DeLange's season standings, one of the newer additions to the team, so only 6 innings worth of action. This is his 5th appearance, as his 0-1 to Imberg is swung on and missed for 0-2. So over DeLange, 10 earned runs over 6 innings. Certainly a tough stretch for him to start out here. 8 strikeouts to 10 walks. That equates to a 15 ERA. Certainly looking to chip away at that here. Walk to start things out. Rubio on the run. Strikeout swinging. And that is... Ooh, that ball popped out pretty late there. It's going to be called safe. The throw definitely beat him. Was going to be curious to see if the ball was trapped for long enough, but no, that'll end up being a stolen base for Rubio. But Imberg does strike out swinging. Tough night for him, 0 for 3, 3 Ks. But able to perhaps do just enough there, swinging and distracting the catcher on the pop-up. Either way, 1 down, runner in scoring position here for the Anchors. First pitch, looped in, curveball, called strike, 0-1. Ragland, top of the lineup for the Anchors. 0 for 3 for him on the day. Variety of outs, line out, strikeout, and fly out. 0-1 pitch, chopped at, foul to the screen. Quick 0-2 advantage here for DeLange versus Ragland, but unable to get a realistic double play opportunity, at least with the force out at second, as Rubio has already stolen second. Ragland, at the very least, looking to move Rubio to third. Doesn't do it, though, as he chases off speed high in the zone for strikeout number 2 of this inning, as well as out number 2. So DeLange picking up where Geist left off. 10 strikeouts in his start through 7, and DeLange already 2 strikeouts in his first inning of work. Pitch number 1, looped curveball, misses upstairs for 1-0. This is Jafari Williams, the right fielder. 0 for 2 on the day, but did get on base. Hit by a pitch in the first pitch of his third at-bat, as a matter of fact, from Geist. Ended up stealing a base as well. This time, DeLange able to bring the depth down, and boy, does it break well. In for a strike, 1-1. Sanders creeping a little bit at second base for a potential cover. Rubio gets closer to the bag, now extends his lead again. DeLange comes set. 1-1 pitch on the way to Williams. Doesn't get the call inside, puts his glove up to his face. I'm pretty sure he wanted that one. Apparently so did the PA in this stadium with the sound that just got played. Two-one pitch, swung on and missed wildly by Williams. Counts even at 2 apiece now. DeLange looking for that exclamation point to his first inning of work in relief. 2-2 pitch. Rings him up outside. Strike 3. Ecstatic is DeLange coming off the mound. Slap fives with Fernandez. And the A's dugout filled with hype as well. 3 innings or 3 outs in this 8th inning, all recorded strikeouts for DeLange, and that does it for the Anchors in the top of the 8th. A's with a great opportunity here to get a run or more in the bottom of the 8th to try and save it and close the deal in the top of the 9th. We'll see if they do just that. Bottom of the 8th starts out with a strike from the new pitcher for the Anchors. That is going to be A.J. Beckham. 0-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss from Miller. Boy, he was out in front of that one. 0-2 advantage now. Beckham, southpaw side armor. I got to say, I've been really impressed with all the variety of arm angles this pitching staff has for the Anchors. We've seen submariners, we've seen side armors. This guy kind of in between 3/4 sidearm action there. This one bounces in the dirt for 1-2. And as we're in the bottom of the 8th here, prime opportunity for the A's to retake the lead here. Grab that lead in the first inning with 1 run, and they haven't scored ever since. Anchors able to grab one in the 5th inning, and we've been tied ever since. Not going to happen there, though, as Miller strikes out looking on a pitch outside for out, number 1. Was going to mention, though, if there's a part of the lineup you'd want up right now, it is going to be this part of the lineup. It's the top of the order. Doesn't quite start out the way they want, though, with Miller striking out looking. But one of the top hitters on the team, George Smith, digs in now with 1 down. 1 for 3 on the day is he with a single, takes first pitch, called strike. Bit inside there. Smith able to foul it away to near Mikey Ramirez in the on-deck circle, who retrieves the foul ball. To Smith, and Beckham, going to take a quick pause off the mound. Digs back in on the rubber now. 0-2 advantage to him. Quick little set there after reading his sign. Comes home, slider, and Smith just able to get a piece of it to stay alive. Smith now going to break the little long pause there, digs out of the batter's box now, comes back in with after a little breather. Still 0-2 to him. Pitch on the way. Slider breaks back in. Filthy stuff there for strikeout number 2 of this inning and of his outing of relief. Both of the looking variety. I'm really stunned with how many strikeouts we've seen looking tonight. Well, I don't know if hitters aren't quite looking to hit tonight, if the stuff is really filthy out there, or if it's somewhere in between. Either way, it is tons of crooked Ks here. I'd like to do the math on that, but we'll wait in between innings. In the meantime, we go to Mikey Ramirez, first pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Looking for a little 2-out rally here is Ramirez. 0 for 3 for his day. Pop out, fly out, and ground out for him. 1-0 misses low and inside. 2-0 advantage here. Ramirez really looking to get on base, of course, with being 0 for 3. Of course, with the team tied late in this game. And of course, because his teammate Ethan Wood on deck, RBI leader, looking to drive him in for the game leading run. Not going to happen on that pitch, though, as slider breaks in there for a strike. 2-1, another slider. It is served foul into the seats behind the first base dugouts. That's the Athletics dugouts. 2-2. Action going on in both bullpens. Looks like just a bit of routine stretching in the Athletic dugouts, though, for Parker Crystal. As for the Anchors bullpen, certainly looks like they might get somebody else in. Ramirez shoots this one up the middle, base hit, and a little bit of life here for the A's in the bottom of the 8th. Just a little bit of something for the Anchors to think about as cleanup hitter Ethan Wood digs in for his 4th at bat. 2 for 3 on the day. 2 singles, one of them being an RBI in the first inning. First pitch, it's lefty on lefty matchup, little dribbler, and it's going to be an underhand toss from the pitcher for out number 3. And Ethan Wood is grabbing his hamstring. He very well might have pulled it. And a look of just shock from the first base coach, Ethan Winter, there. Hands on hips, just like, gosh dang it. Wood pulled his hamstring earlier this year in Humboldt, and it appears he might have done it again. That's a potential big loss for the A's. But in the meantime, hopefully he's good. Hopefully get a checkup on him in this game. We'll head to the top of the 9th inning, still scoreless. Zeros galore on that scoreboard. Who is going to break the tie? We'll find out in the 9th inning. A little bit of delay here as we had a little leaguer race with them. I think it was partner race racing out to one of the advertisements in right center field and back to the Athletics dugout. But now we're clearing out. And it is the top of the ninth. Put me in, coach. I'm ready. Well, Elias Uribe, you think you would be the difference maker in this stalemate 1-1? Come on up to Fresno and Chukchansi Park. Let's find out. In the meantime, we'll return our action to the game. 1-0 starts out delaying to the batter. Now 1-1 as he works a strike. Leading things off here is, it was due to be Paredes, but might be a different player. I'll have to take a peek at the number. In the meantime, this one breaks for a ball, 1-1 or 2-1. It is Paredes, confirmed it looking at the numbers. So, taking a look at his day, he looks to be 0 for 2. Got on base in the 6th inning, but I, for some reason, did not mark how. I believe that was likely a walk. Otherwise, 2 strikeouts. And he is looking to get his second walk of the day here, delaying. Misses outside there, 3-1. Ball 4 there, quick and decisive bat flip behind from Paredes. He knew he had the walk in hand. So, leadoff walk here for the Anchors, and certainly not going to mind that is Paredes or the Anchors looking to get that go ahead run and a series win here. Interestingly enough, infield umpire coming into the mound to fix the dirt or something. That's a little perplexing to me. Anyways, we're going to move on to the new batter. Definitely a pinch hitter here. I was unable to grab the number, though. Big guy here for the Anchors, delaying. Steps off the mound to keep Paredes at bay for the moment, but he is itching to go, it looks like. Bit of long hops there with his secondary lead. Doesn't end up going on the first pitch as this one's fouled away. Number 25 here, Kai Young is the pinch hitter for Kelvin Jones. Squaring around the bunt, pulls it back, ball 1-1. Young with perhaps the steadiest swing stance, I should say, in the batter's box I've ever seen. Pulls this one back, little emphatic there. Didn't look like it was too close to nailing him, but got out of the way for safe measure, 2-1. But yeah, getting back to it, boy, he digs into the steady in that box. No movement with the bat, no movement with the body at all. He is just ready to go. Be curious to see if he does that as well, if he's not squaring around a bunt. Are we getting a balk call here? Looks like we are. We got an automatic ball charge there, so I think that was a balk. I thought in that situation, though, base runner would move to second. Instead, it's going to count as a ball. 3-1 now to Young. Paredes stays put. This one misses upstairs. Ball 4, and boy, oh boy, the Anchors got to love the situation they're in now. Back-to-back walks. Keeps it at first and second now with no outs. And Coach Wyatt Featherston coming out to the mound, and looks like it might just be a straight pull from here. We're used to seeing pitching coaches come out to try and settle things down, but DeLange's already hugging his teammates on the mound. Featherston takes the ball. That's his day done, and looks like Parker Crystal's day is just beginning in the top of the ninth. he's going to be tasked with a difficult task. That is, he'll be coming in with runners on first and second with no outs. We'll see how it goes right after warmups. All right, we're back, and it is indeed Parker Crystal on the mound. Limited innings for him, only 3 1/3, fifth appearance overall, but he's done well in his time on the bump. One hit only, no runs given up, 4 Ks to 2 walks, and just rifles his first pitch in for a strike, 0-1. Yeah, we've seen it out of him too when he's on the mound. He throws gas and has some sharp break on the off speed. Looks like we have defensive substitutions as well. That makes sense with Ethan Wood pulling his hamstring. Maynor is at first base now, and looks like Aiden Perry came into the game at second. Sanders moves to third, so that should be Aiden Perry that comes in for Smith. He'll be batting fourth if we get to that point. Meantime, though, 0-1 count, runners on the move, throw down to third base. He is out. Oh my goodness. Call on the pitch was a strike there, but Anchors roll the dice and get really aggressive there with a double steal, and it does not pay off with the lead runner. He's cut down by Fernandez. In the meantime, though, Kai Young moves on to second base, takes Paredes's spot. Pitch misses for a ball there, 1-2, and you can tell this game means a lot to both sides. With each pitch that passes by, there's a cheer from one dugout. Just first ball of this at bat, good cheer from the Anchors dugout. Rung up, strike three is Lister on the outside part of the plate. the theme of strikeouts looking continues tonight, and Crystal is starting out his first batter just right. He gets 2 for 1 during that at bat with caught stealing and strikeout looking. So things are looking great for the Anchors here in the top of the 9th, and now it's going to take the new batter Wagner finding a gap here. He certainly did earlier in the game with a big triple out to left center. Right there, though, looked like he got fooled, swing and a miss, 0-1. Did he go? Fernandez asking for the appeal. He did. Infield umpire calls that a strike. The Anchors coach, head coach that is incensed with the call. So is some of the Anchors fans in the stands, but it's going to be an 0-2 hole here for Wagner. Runner on the move. Doesn't matter. Swing and a miss, though, but they do have to complete the out. Wagner is flying down the first base, but it doesn't matter. Fernandez able to throw him out at first to complete the strikeout. Absolutely electric. Top of the 9th inning there. Crystal comes in with no outs, runners on first and second, gets 3 outs out of 2 batters. Fantastic stuff. And the A's are coming up in the bottom of the 9th with a chance to walk it off on the Anchors. Do not go anywhere. All right, bottom of the 9th, and it is make it or break it time here for the A's and the Anchors, quite honestly. They're looking to shut things down, keep it going. A's looking to say night and go home. In the meantime, checking out the comments. Thank you, Mr. Weller, for answering that question. Yes, 3 pitchers. We just saw the third one come in. Parker Crystal did a great job. And really not a rough day. It's only 1-1. You cannot ask for really much more from your pitching staff, only giving up 1 run. In the meantime, strike called outside part of the plate, starting out to Luke Reed. This one slapped. It's snared from Gullickson for out number one. Good contact from Marie, but just right at the fielder. So Jacob Maynard comes up 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts, grounded in a double play. Tough day at the plate. Solid glove at third base, though, but now we see he's at first base after Ethan Wood pulled his hamstring. Sure hope he's doing okay, and nothing too serious. 0-1 as he swings and misses there. Misses inside there, and oddly enough, catcher unable to catch it. Goes off the top of the glove, but no big deal for the Anchors since nobody's on base. So no harm, no foul there. 1-1. 2. Maynard pitch on the way outside. 2-1. Fouled behind the first base side. 2-2. Yeah, speaking a little more to my point about strikeouts and in general, my observations about how many have been looking. 15 strikeouts across 3 pitchers for the A's pitching. Very impressive stuff as that one misses low and count rolls full to Maynard 3-2. So 6 of those 15 have been looking. And as for the Anchors, as this one's ball 4, we'll get back to that point in a bit, but Maynard able to work a walk, 1 out. 1 out, base runner here for the Athletics, and Isaac Fernandez looking to cash in on the opportunity. This one sent out to right field. Should be no trouble for Williams, though, and it is going to force Maynard back to first base. Quick second out to this inning. So yeah, getting back to the strikeouts, looking at everything, 6 of the 15 strikeouts of the Anchors have been looking. As for the Athletics, 6 of 7. So only one of those strikeouts have been swinging for the Athletics on offense. In total, that is 12 of 22 strikeouts looking today. Seems to be a bit of an anomaly. This one is up against the Athletics dugout, caught for a fly or a flat foul out. There we go. Got it out. Out number 3. So that is quick 3 outs here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And are we going to go to extras or is the game going to get called? We'll find out. All right, extra innings for the first time since the Humboldt Crab series, and we are playing with MLB rules. So we have a base runner at second base. That was the last out of the ninth inning, which was Paul Wagner. Leadoff hitter here for the Alameda Anchors is Kai Gullickson, who swings and misses at one in the dirt. 0-1. Well, gonna have to get creative with my scorebook here at this point, actually. Don't have extra space for extra innings. And Crystal misses upstairs here, 1-1. Reflecting back on that extra innings game in Humboldt, Crab's able to walk it off just in one inning of work, I do believe, unless I am slipping up in memory, but they for sure did beat the A's in walk-off fashion in that one. A's hoping to do the walking off here tonight as this one's fouled behind the third base dugout, 1-2. A's have walked it off once this season. That was courtesy of a Brian Sanders, our 2 RBI double out to right center field, opposite field hit, and it capped off a 5-run comeback in the ninth inning. Certainly unexpected, but good for the A's as Crystal throws over to second base just to keep an eye on Wagner, let him know he's thinking about him and doesn't want him to try and steal third. Not out of the realm of possibility either. We saw the Anchors get pretty aggressive trying to steal third there in the ninth inning. However, in this situation, likely just looking to move him around with productive outs, whether it be a fly out or a ground ball on the right side of the field. 2-2 pitch here coming up for Crystal against Gullickson. 2 strikeouts for Gullickson on the day. Make it 3. Crystal just blows it by him for out number 1. So that is 3 straight strikeouts for Crystal going back to the last inning. That is Lister, Wagner, Gullickson all down on strikes in a row. And Elias Rubio digging in for his second at bat. Came in as a pinch hit and substitution in the 8th inning. Worked a walk and stole a base. First pitch to him here, though, is a ball, 1-0. Action going on in the A's bullpen. Hard to tell who's who down there, but could be the end of the line for Crystal if we do go beyond the 10th inning. 1-0 pitch, breaks a slider in, but misses outside for 2-0. Just trying to catch up, looking around the field. Doesn't look like there's any more defensive substitutions that Coach Wyatt Featherston snuck in on me there. But the new arrangement of the fielders, as this one is swung on and missed, looked to be a change-up, 2-1, as Crystal slowed down Rubio. Alluding to those defensive substitution after Ethan Wood's apparent pulled hamstring, Maynor went from third to first. Sanders from second to third, and filling in the void at second base is Aiden Perry, who comes in for Ethan Wood. This one's chopped to Brian Sanders, but in foul ground, 2-2. Well, nice thing about playing extra innings tonight. Well, I should say nice thing about playing after the Grizzlies today when we were originally scheduled to play a morning game is that we do have the luxury of extra innings and don't have to call it based off of time. 2-2 pitch rings up. Rubio as he hits his helmet a couple times with the bat. And that is strikeout number 4 in a row for Crystal. Out number 2 of the top of the 10th. Yet another strikeout looking as well. That's 24 strikeouts across both teams and 13 of those looking. Just corrected the scoreboard there to reflect the runner on second, not first base. Wagner goes back a little bit as this one is chopped at by Imberg, goes foul, 0-1. Imberg, tough day for him at the plate, 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts. One looking, two swinging, one away from the baseball slang term golden sombrero. 4 strikeouts in a game is what that indicates. A 1 pitch on the way, takes it for a ball, 1-1. Umpire calls time here, I think. Kind of a strange pause there. Didn't seem like the play was taking too long there in between batter or pitcher. Didn't look like he was calling no eye contact made either. So guess just a brief pause. Now we're ready to go with the 1-1 pitch. Cristal looks back. Wagner comes home. Slider gets the call for a strike. That looked, to be fair, that looked pretty far out off the plate, but it gets the call for 1-2. It's really hard to tell since I'm calling the games from up at the top of the lower level. Usually I'm down at field level, but seems to be that the umpire has had a rather generous strike zone on the outside part of the plate this evening. 1-2 pitch. Cristal goes back to the well off the plate. There it is. Strike 3. And it ends this inning. Parker Cristal is just absolutely the definition of hype. A's are pumped as well as they get back into the dugout with a chance to walk it off in the bottom of the 10th inning. Count them up: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive strikeouts for Cristal since he took over in the top of the 9th. A's looking to walk it off when we come back. Well, coming back with the bottom of the 10th, we hardly ever say that, but it is upon us here in this weekender series ender game. Sunday night baseball at Chansey Park. Energy is palpable here in the stadium, and A's are just one base knock to the outfield away from walking things off. So lead things off here is Sanders. Bottom of the lineup here, top of the lineup due up. Tyson Miller in the on deck circle. Looks to me as if they brought in a pinch runner for Nevode. Looks to be Scott Mitchell in there, as not too surprising, really, as the A's are just trying to get a speed demon on the bases to get him in from second base. Big opportunity here for the A's to walk it off. Sanders, big opportunity to walk it off himself, showing bunt, fouled back into the screen. And boy, Lister came crashing way in close to home plate. So 0-1 here to Sanders, and as we reflect on the game, 1-1 doesn't seem very exciting, especially with a lot of strikeouts, but strikeouts kind of have been exciting, and it hasn't been like there really hasn't been any hits, as this one's up and away for ball one. There's been plenty of opportunities for both teams. Not plenty, but a good amount, let's say. And then things just happen. Anchors, runners on first and second, gets wiped out with a double play. Additionally, runners on first and second in the top of the ninth inning gets caught stealing at third, and then Crystal goes on to punch out the last two and end that threat. This one is a successful bunt. Going to be tough to throw over. It's into the outfield. Here comes Mitchell. He's going to score. That's a walk-off winner. Oh, my goodness. The A's have just walked it off, and they are going absolutely nuts in the outfield. Let's zoom in on that fun. Got some Hanford Little Leaguers enjoying the action, too. Oh, my goodness. What did we just see? Boy, that is exactly the excitement we could see with that MLB rule runner at second base. You try and bunt him over, get the advantage. Brian Sanders laid a beautiful bunt down the third base side, and it forced a quick throw to first base, but it's an errant one. Sails into right field, and that is all she wrote. Holy smokes, A's winning in extras here, 2-1. Scoreline ain't going to look that pretty for a game, but it really was an entertaining one throughout. And the A's get a series win here. Certainly has to feel good after the tough series up in Medford. They go 5-1 this weekend at home. Wow, wow, wow. 2 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Athletics. 1 run, 2 hits, 2 errors for the Anchors. So A's will move to 27-10 on the year. Certainly a good mark for them. And as we look forward to next week, this season is really winding down, folks. So certainly hope you can tune in for all the remaining games and soak it in, as the boys of summer are going to be going home here soon. In the meantime, though, we have a home game next Tuesday against VSA. And then we'll be making our last road trip. That's up to Reading against the Colt 45s Thursday through Saturday for those games. And they're going to be late starts, 7:15 p.m. No surprise, though, with the heat up there. Then after that, it's going to be just 2 games at home. Tuesday, Wednesday, I do believe, the 22nd and 23rd of July. And that's all she wrote. But my goodness, A's walk it off here tonight in extras. Thank you very much for joining in for this stream, and we will take a day off tomorrow. We'll see you back here on Tuesday.